Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a review on another skin tint. After this skin tint, I plan on doing a full ranking video of all my skin tints, so stay tuned for that. I think this is going to be the last one we're testing out. And it's from Bobbi Brown. It's the Vitamin Enriched Skin Tint. It has an SPF of 15. I just got this in the mail yesterday, and I had to put this on my face. I love skin tints, as you already know. And they allowed me to pick out 2 shades. I did get this in PR. I picked out Medium 2 and Golden 1. They also have a new powder that launched as well. It's the Vitamin Enriched Press Powder. They sent me the yellow shade. I typically don't use yellow powders, but we might test this out here. Also some replenishes of their Vitamin Enriched face base and eye base. You should see my eye base currently. I am almost done that. So I do want to film an empty soon as well if you're looking forward to that. But let's go ahead and put the skin tint on the face, tell you a little bit about it. It retails for $62.50 Canadian for 50 milliliters of product. There is a generous amount in this product. There's 18 shades. Medium 2 is medium neutral beige. Golden 1 is a golden warm beige. It is a 2-in-1 buildable skin tint delivering 12-hour hydration while providing long-wearing, natural-looking coverage that's sweat-proof and humidity resistant. Coverage is light, finish is natural, formulation is cream. The highlighted ingredients include provitamin D and cactus flower to support a strong skin barrier. Vitamin E complex defends skin from environmental aggressors. Hyaluronic acid and shea butter immediately moisturize, soften, and condition. The SPF 15 skin tint has a multitasking, multivitamin infused formula that melts seamlessly into skin while its sheer coverage adapts to a range of skin tones. This formula helps nourish skin while preventing fading, creasing, and settling, while also preventing damage from UVA and UVB rays. So since this only has an SPF of 15 and you would need to use a considerable amount of it to get that SPF, I always still use my own SPF prior. And I'm worried about this particular skin tint because often I break out from SPF in products. So I'm hoping it doesn't do that. Only time will tell, and I will update this video if this product happens to do that for me. More often than not, it will. So yes, I'm a little bit nervous going into this review on this product, but we're still gonna test out and see. I prefer products without the SPF just so that I can add my own, and I do have my own on right now before going in with this product. I'm going to swatch both of the shades for you. Golden 1, I think won't work today. It's a little deep for me, very golden. And then Medium 2, surprisingly for a beige, looks quite yellow. Don't you see that? It's called Medium Neutral Beige, and I just honestly see yellow. So for me, I'm in between these 2 shades. It says it self-adjusts, so we'll try Medium 2, even though I feel like golden for the undertone, I could actually get to work more than this beige one because it looks yellow to me. You can use your fingers. Let's do a little mix here. Shouldn't be too bad. Maybe I'll just go with the golden just due to the undertone because that mixed in fairly nicely and it is quite sheer. So it says it is a cream formulation. There's not too much movement there. It's dripping slightly, but I've used skin tints that definitely aren't as thick. I wouldn't say it's overly thick, but still has a consistency, I would say, of a moisturizer. I'm gonna do 1/2 of my face, and I am solely gonna use Golden 1 because upon rubbing all that in, I just feel like I can work with this undertone more, even if it's slightly too deep for my skin. This does say it has a sheer to light coverage, and upon first application of this has a lot more coverage than the Hourglass one I recently reviewed for you guys. Very apparent that it does have a lot more coverage than that. We'll see how it builds. It feels great on the skin. I love the Vitamin Enriched line, so I was very excited just because of the ingredients in this, similar to the Vitamin Enriched, and that just works so well for my skin. So now I'm gonna go ahead and apply this to the other side of the face. I'm using my BK Beauty 109 brush in case you're curious. Use this for everything. For some reason, I do feel like it's going on slightly patchy with the brush. I'm gonna try my fingers for the second layer. I'm not sure why. I just feel like there's spots of clinging around my face, and it's looking slightly patchy on my skin, just with the one layer, which is weird for a moisturizing product like this. We will keep working with it. Could just be a brush. It does say you can use a brush or your fingers, but to warm up the product with your fingers, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I definitely like the fingers more. I think warming up the product 100% helped with this formula to spread it. It feels slightly greasy. I can feel the formula more when I'm applying it. I do have normal to slightly dry skin. I don't know how those with oily skin would like this. It does feel a little greasy, I would say. And it does feel slightly heavier than some of my other skin tints. I know the vitamin enriched formula, that in general is just super hydrating on my skin, so it just could be the formulation. There's shea butter in this, and I do feel like that is a little bit thicker. That is 2 layers applied to the skin. It is a light coverage. I wouldn't say it's sheer. I would go ahead and spot conceal for this product myself. I often do that with skin tints, so yes, I would go in with concealer for underneath my eyes and just a couple spots that I would want a little bit more coverage. And just to overall even everything out, I do feel like the fingers work best when applying this to the skin. First impression, I'm not sure on this one how it's gonna work for my skin, but we're gonna test it out. It's all about the wear for me. If this starts slipping and sliding off the skin, then we're gonna have issues. But it does feel slightly heavier than other skin tints, and I have to put that out there right away just because that enriched formula, though this could be really good for me come fall and winter, it being this hydrating on my skin. True test for me though is how this wears. I'm just gonna go off camera, quickly apply my concealer, powder, blush, bronzer, all that, come back and finalize this portion of the video. Just with that added bit of concealer, I really like how it's looking now, just because I need a little bit more coverage in the center of my face and to cover up just a couple blemishes that I have on the skin. But overall, it looks really healthy and natural. It's starting to dry down a little bit more, which I wanted to come back before I even did powder, and settling into my skin because I was a little bit worried there. It does say it's sweat proof and humidity resistant. So even though this feels more like a fall winter product for me, I'm hopeful that this is gonna hold up today in the heat, but we will see. So I'm gonna go back, put on my powder, blush, now do all that and come back. I just wanted to update you, just putting on that concealer because I do feel like now it's settling into my skin. It's really made a big difference. I'm back, and let me just tell you, that was a journey trying to get my other makeup to play nicely with this. So I did have to redo my forehead, and I'm still having issues with sticking and patching in areas, and this is after redoing it and getting it to the best of my ability. So the formula on my skin, it's a little bit finicky. To be completely honest, it's just the formula is a little thick and I can see things grabbing and just patching off in places. We will see how it wears, but it was just hard to get on evenly, as you saw in the beginning. And then even when applying my makeup, I'm still having that issue with just it being blotchy for whatever reason. And I did use brush, fingers. I put powder on, so I'd hope that it would smooth everything down, but there's still some lifting going on. And it's probably just because the formula is so thick and hydrating that it's just coming off. So maybe it needs an excessive amount of time to dry down, but I just don't have that kind of time in the morning. However, I don't think it's the worst my skin has ever looked. It's just a harder formula for my skin to work with. I will continue to play with it and see what I can do. I did struggle, as you could see throughout this video, with the formula for this on my skin, but we're looking okay right now. We'll see how it wears. If it starts to do worse and come off throughout the day, it's a deal breaker for me and definitely not one that I would recommend, but still want to put this to the test to see how this wears throughout the day. This is our starting point. I don't even think that Golden 1 was too dark for me. I think it's actually my match. If I were to pick out of the range again, I would go with Golden 1. So I'm happy with the color. It's just the formula is a little bit finicky to put on my favorite products and all that. I just might have to play around with my technique for setting this to find something that works a little bit better, because typically I do press in my powder, but I found that was lifting it. So I just probably have to do a different technique next time. But I do feel like it went on nicely everywhere else. It's just my forehead, which tends to be the issue for me for lifting. So we are going to see how this lasts. I don't think this is the worst my skin has ever looked, but definitely I feel like it could be better. But we're going to put it to the true test and see how long this wears. I'm back. The product has been on 12 hours, so I put it to the 12-hour hydration test. I just assume with this being long wearing and saying 12-hour hydration that we'd test it for 12 hours. So I do find this quite hydrating. You can see, really see now, where the patching started and just kind of continued on my face. And I do feel like I look a little orange throughout the day. So for me, the wear of this, there's things that are better, there's things that are worse. If I ever want to touch up my face, I do like using a puff just to repress everything in. I do feel like I'm missing product right back here too. So it's one of those that is easy to transfer as well. You cannot touch your face at all, and I don't typically, but I think just because of the weather and everything, me putting my hair back, just rubbing it off. So in terms of the wear, I wouldn't say this is particularly long wearing on my skin, because I do feel like it has come off. I have tried worse products out there. I don't think this is the worst thing ever. I just don't feel like it is my favorite skin tint out there. You guys know my skin. You've seen my skin. You've seen how product applies, how it wears. This is just not one of the best wearing products out there for me. I think maybe for me, I could revisit this when the weather is a little bit cooler out, because it is so hydrating. I might fare better then. However, this said it was sweat and humidity resistant. It was a warm day out. The center of my face, I feel like, held up. On my nose, where I typically sweat, like, that's still there. It's just places where I would touch my face, it's easy to come off, and that's something that I personally don't like. I like transfer resistant, not necessarily transfer proof. It doesn't have to be fully locked, but just something that's not so finicky is the best way to describe it. It's just been finicky for me. I tried to reapply it already once today, and I will have inserted some clips of me wearing this another day, just because I wanted to update you on setting it differently and if that works out differently for me. However, for the end of the day wear test for this, I just think there's better out there, and I've looked better, and for whatever reason, my forehead is super orange. It's all just gathering in an orange line at my forehead. I'm not sure what that's about. Anyways, that is my review on this new Bobbi Brown skin tint. I don't think it's the worst thing ever. Did I have a hard time? Absolutely. But I will continue to test this out. This is just my first impression on it, and you will also see inserted clips of more wears with this, and if my opinion changes, I will update this video. However, I don't see it changing, honestly, just because of the wear test. I can tell how a product's gonna sit. I used all my favorite products when I did the look, so I know that it is the skin tint and not the other products that are the problem for me. That's another reason why I didn't want to test the powder in this video, because I wanted to make sure about the skin tint before I throw in some more complexion products with this. So that is my final opinion on this skin tint. Let me know if you've tried it, your thoughts. I think it's getting good reviews on Sephora. I checked. Let me check. This is actually getting really good reviews on Sephora. Has almost a 5-star with 972 reviews for it. I love that there's 50 milliliters of product. The formulation and ingredients are something that I feel like is nourishing. I think this is something that I would probably use under my Makeup Forever powder foundation, just so that I can ensure my flawless finish and get the hydration of this formula, because I do feel like the formula feels really, really nice on my skin. It's just the patching for me, which, again, I will try setting other ways and doing other things. So you'll see those updates in this video because I will be continuing to try this out even though I'm filming today. And that's going to be officially it for this review. So thank you guys so much for clicking on this video, for wanting to know my opinion on this new skin tint. Stay tuned for my battle of skin tints where I will share with you my ranking and we will get to a number 1. I'm really excited for that because I know there's so many out there and I want to let you know what my personal favorite is. I've tried so many. Stay tuned for that. It will be coming up shortly. If you have not already, I would absolutely love for you to subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button, the bell to be notified of all my future videos, and I will see you guys in my next one.